Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my monthly first impression video and it is going to be on the Ordinary, this is the full coverage foundation formula. So last month I did the Serum Foundation and I did mention that I did purchase the full coverage one, so I thought I would do my first impression for this month on this one. And I got this actually in 2.0p, which is a light medium. The serum one, I actually got it one shade darker because that was what it was offered. And if you guys haven't watched that video, I'll probably link it somewhere here to show you guys that was a bit too dark. So I'm actually hoping this one will be a lot better for me. Anyways, so on the back of it, it says it's a high coverage creamy foundation that soft and undesirable hues. So once again, the Ordinary full coverage foundation is also offered in 21 different shades. I got it off the Decem website. I paid for about $6.70 Canadian, so I thought it was quite a good price considering the fact that you get 30 milliliters worth of product, which is your average foundation that you even buy at a drugstore or even offered at, you know, Sephora or something like that. So anyhow, so, you know, the packaging looks exactly the same. So it's, you know, your plastic packaging and with a pump right here, which to me, that's really all I need. Especially if I'm going to be using it every day, I really don't need something that is too, you know, too fancy. And especially if I'm going to be carrying it around, I definitely don't want to, you know, be paying too much for just the packaging. I mean, of course, if it sits on my vanity table, then definitely I would want something cute and, you know, and whatnot, but then it's not something I would actually gravitate towards as often as something that's, you know, more affordable. Anyhow, let me zoom up and, you know, let's get into like my flaws. So now that you guys are up close, I started breaking out of my nose, so hopefully, and up here, hopefully this high coverage foundation can actually cover, you know, the stuff on my face that I would like to cover. So once again, this side of the face will be with a primer, and this is the Ordinary High Adhesive Silicone Primer that I also got from the Decem website for, I think it was like $4.70, which is really good. Especially the fact that it's unscented, it's silicone based, so it doesn't actually oil up, and it's good for pretty much all types of skin. So anyhow, let me apply this on this side of my face. As you guys can tell, I only have on my eye makeup, my eyebrows, my lips. Nothing is underneath the skin aside from my regular face primer, or sorry, face cream. Alright, now that I have my primer on, I am going to pump some of this foundation on. And I'm going to be using a beauty blender because that's what I normally use to apply, so hence I would like to test it out for that reason. So, you know, I soaked up my beauty blender right here. I'm going to try it with one pump because it looked like last time 2 pumps was way too much. As you can tell, this full coverage one is less runny than the serum one. Apply it on this side of my face. Looks like this color is a lot better. I understand with a beauty blender, you know, to cover things, it could be, you know, quite a challenge because a beauty blender actually takes off products or absorbs a bit of it as comparatively if I were to use a brush. That's one layer. As you can tell, my acne breakout right here is still peeping through. I do have to say, you know, with the primer, it applies on a lot easier than, you know, if I were to just have a face cream on. So this is the first layer. I feel like maybe where my breakouts are, I might want to apply on a second layer. So I'm going to do like half a pump. I don't think I need the full pump. So I think that much is more than enough. I actually now have 2 layers on top of where I break out. This one, of course, you can still kind of see it. But the one at my forehead, you know, it's a lot better. And I understand with this type of breakout that is a little bit red and whatnot, you actually kind of need a concealer to do the job because concealer is actually more thick. But I thought, you know what, because it says high coverage, I might as well try it out with 2 layers and see if it worked out. So, you know, I'm kind of impressed. Now that we're zoomed out, you guys can tell that this shade was a lot better than the 2.1p where I did on the Serum Foundation, because it didn't take long to obviously oxidize, and you know, it is the same shade, so I did pretty well. So if you are similar tone to me, and if you choose to buy this one, this is the 2.0p. I do have more of like a pink undertone. I do want more of a warm undertone in the summer just for that glowy look, but during like colder seasons, I am definitely a pink undertone. So if you guys are, I believe, a NC21 in MAC, then you're definitely going to suit this shade. Anyhow, I will check in with you guys maybe midday if I have the chance to. If not, I would definitely give you guys my final thoughts towards the end of the day. Alright, so I am back midway to do a checkup. It is currently 2:18 in the afternoon. Let me zoom in to show you guys how the foundation is still sitting on my face. I still think it looks pretty fresh, like at least the areas, like this area that was a little red, it's still covered up. I did walk out in the rain without an umbrella, so I'm glad that it didn't just like wash off all that foundation that was on my face. So yeah, I still think it looks pretty good. Alright, so I will check in with you guys towards the end of the day to give you guys my final thoughts. Anyhow, so I am back to give you guys my final thoughts on this foundation right here. Currently, right now, it is 5:42, so I've had this foundation on for about 7 hours, which I think is a decent amount of time to tell whether if it is a good foundation or not. Anyhow, let me give you guys a close-up. So now that you guys are close up, so once again, this side had primer, which I can tell that, you know, it still looks pretty good whether if it's on camera or actually in real life. In fact, my eyebrows are rubbing off instead of the foundation itself. I did run some errands outside of the house, and it is a rainy day today, so you know, the rain has kind of got onto my face. So you know, I'm pretty glad that, you know, nothing, you know, was seeping or whatnot. Whereas this side without primer, I noticed that on my nose area right here, some of it has been rubbing off. I haven't been like, you know, like blowing my nose like I normally would, so I don't know why it's coming off. So it could just be because there's no primer to hold everything there. So overall, I still think this is a pretty good foundation. I still really do like it. Although I wouldn't call this like a full coverage foundation, because it really doesn't feel like full coverage. I tried full coverage from like Kat Von D, and it's in comparison to the two that, no, Kat Von D literally, like even just with one layer, it's quite, the coverage is quite high. Versus this one, I would definitely say it's more towards like a medium to maybe you can build it up to a full coverage, but that would maybe require 2 or 3 layers of foundation versus, you know, just one, as you guys can tell. Of course, my freckles that I have on my cheeks normally, they're not as, I guess, visible than in comparison to the Serum Foundation. So in terms of that, yes, it definitely does have higher coverage than the Serum one, but I would not call this like a full coverage foundation per se. Anyhow, so those are my first impression of this foundation. I definitely do like this shade a little bit more, so I think I will be using this a bit more than in comparison to the Serum one. The Serum one, I definitely will buy a second one to mix it so that it can give me a shade that actually matches my face. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if so, remember to give me that thumbs up. I do try to upload 1 to 2 new videos each week, so do subscribe to this channel and turn on that little bell for notifications. Anyhow, I shall see you guys in my next one. Bye bye for now.